Welcome to Custodians of Africa, where heritage meets leadership. My name is Wycliffe Muganda, and with me today I have this gentleman by the name Ochieng Sawagongo. Ochieng Sawagongo has got a story and a different opinion in the happenings in the current government, where the Luo community, just a section of them, feels that okay, fine, they are now at home, whereas others are feeling that they are not yet at home. So, welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Bwana Wycliffe. I must say I'm so delighted to be part of this conversation. Let us also have a say of what is happening around us. Of course, there is so much that can be said about the arrangement that Baba left us in. Yeah, so I feel very delighted that I'm going to be part and parcel of this discussion tonight.
Baba left us in the broad-based government, and he said that we are going to support His Excellency William Samoei Ruto. Did he?
I think that is a question that can be a little bit difficult to confirm or deny, largely because Baba is not with us anymore to defend himself where people are saying he said it. And of course, human beings also have a tendency of sometimes exaggerating given the slightest of remarks. But yes, either side, we are in a government arrangement that was orchestrated by the late Raila Odinga. Whether he said we should stick in it is a different story. But I think I want to focus on the elements that led us to that formation. We are aware that immediately after the elections of 2022, Baba and his troops led some demonstrations of sorts, which were brought about by the difficulty in life. Then there was a feeling that the new administration then had brought in a lot of changes within many tax tax regimes, and that was hurting Kenyans. And so Baba led from the front with many Kenyans behind him, and people demonstrated what they called at that time that high cost of living. And after those demonstrations, of course, there were those who felt that we were not going in the right direction. And so therefore, what happened after that is Baba kept his side of the bargain, saying that Kenyans were suffering a lot and the government needed to look into the high cost of living. And the government of the day felt that they were doing quite well. In fact, if I remember those formative early days of that government, they kept on telling us how well they were doing. And then another round of things happened in 2023, 2024, when the Gen Zs decided that enough was enough. And you all remember that after that, the demonstrations that took place with the many deaths and the instability that happened in government at that time. So I think we arrived at where we are out of so many factors. And it is therefore safe to say that it was not just a question of us getting into a broad-based government. There were issues that drove us into that arrangement.
Wow. Very well. Based on what you said, some of the Luo community are supporting this particular government. Some are still in denial that this is not the right way to go. What is your take on this?
I think that Baba made some decisions. Of course, he said he consulted his base, his political base. He consulted with the community, and he was given a go-ahead to enter into that arrangement with the KK government. But as is usual, certain decisions that are made, particularly at that level, must have certain consequences. And I don't want us to forget quite easily that there were sections of Kenyans who, when Baba put pen to paper to this particular arrangement with the President William Ruto, were of the opinion that they had been shortchanged. And they even went ahead and called Baba names. And some people say that he had taken them from his opposition days, and when they felt that they needed his guidance most, that he had left them at a point where they were left vulnerable. However, there are other sections of people of the community that felt that Baba had done good by joining the government to stabilize the nation. That is a discussion that may have taken quite a bit of time. Had Baba been alive today, maybe things would have been different. But yes, as a community, we cannot deny that we are in this government. We are in this government because when I look around the formation of the government of Kenya, I think not all members of the communities in Kenya form part of this government, as it were. So we must say that yes, in a small way, the Luo community is part of this government by virtue of the fact that we have at least 3 cabinet positions. The Attorney General, we have the Minister for Energy, Honorable Pio and I, and then we have Minister for the National Treasury, Honorable Mbadi. And of course, we have a number of the PSS, what used to be called the permanent secretaries. Now they're called principal secretaries. So indeed, yes, I think a section of us must say that we are in government. Perhaps we would have wished to have more slots in this government, but as it is, I think that would be a bargain that would be taken to be a little bit on the higher side, considering that we never voted for this government in the first place.
Wow, very well, Sawagongo. Now, what do you think are the impacts of you saying you are a Luo? Are you coming from the Luo community?
Oh yes, I am definitely a Luo son of this land, from Siaya County. Oh yes, and I must say that being in government has the good and bad side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And particularly for us in this arrangement, some would argue that having left the opposition and joined government, that we left what had, for some reason, been left for us to do, checking the government of the day as opposition side. But then everybody knows that in the Kenyan way of things, you are assumed to attract development to your side when you are part and parcel of the government. And so therefore, that may have formed the decision that Baba brought into this, that it would have made sense for him that his backyard, basically his ODM backyard, also benefited somehow from this government for the 5 years of the first term of the president. Because otherwise, we know that most of the time, people who are in the opposition are not as lucky when national cake is being shared. A lot of that national cake is taken by people who are in government. And so when Baba went into this particular arrangement, I think he probably was reasoning that if we were part of it, then we will have some little development to bring home. And I think having joined the government, I think there were some things that have happened in our backyard which we don't want to take for granted, even though somebody may also argue that we are taxpayers and we deserve those kind of arrangements. But you also have to ask them that why are those other taxpayers from other regions not having those kind of little developments that are now being felt around the Luo backyard?
Sawagongo, which are these developments you're referring to?
We have been uh, treated to uh, some construction of brick and mortar in our backyard. I think quite a number of markets have been earmarked for development. Some of them have been done. We can see that in the 4 counties of Luo Nyanza. We have seen certain roads that are now being done by this government, which initially had not been earmarked for construction, and now they're being done for this government. We have also seen that there are some sport infrastructure that have been brought up and that have been done. If I can give an example of the stadium in Siaya County, which the national government is doing through the KDF. We have also seen that there have been some construction of market centers. I think in sizable numbers around the 4 counties of Luo Nyanza. We have seen the opening up of the blue economy through the construction of the piers. There is one that has been done in Homa Bay County, and I think another one is some are being done in Siaya County as well. So yes, these are developments that would make somebody believe that the government is trying to bring some little development to our region.
Wow, well said. Now, the question that I want to ask you, which people meet me on the streets and they ask, is about you as the Luo community supporting William Samoei Ruto for his second term. Are you people going to support him?
I think it is a little bit too early to answer that question absolutely, because as we know, there are a lot of things that are going to happen between now and the general elections in 2027. Having been around for some time, I think you would be a little bit naive to suggest that there is any side of the community other than the president's own backyard that can confirm to him that they're going to give them 100% support in 2027. However, I think that there is a sizable number of voters from the Luo community, when I listen around, that are going to give him support if he continues to do the kind of things that he's doing. Whether ODM as a party is going to endorse that is something that we can take for an argument. But I think when you address individuals directly, there are those who already feel that the government has shown that they are willing to work with them, and so therefore they will give that support. ODM as a party is yet to give us the right indicators, because I think there's a lot of jostling right now within ODM. So it's difficult to say that ODM is going to offer that support, that blanket support in 2027. But I think there will be some good support coming from Luo Nyanza this time around.
Fellow viewers, this is Custodians of Africa. Subscribe to walk with us as we tell Africa's story through culture and leadership. In studio is Ochieng Sawagongo. What a name. Now, you brought about the issue or topic of ODM. But before we go to ODM, I want you to go back a little bit and tell me about the impact of Honorable Opiyo Wandayi and Honorable John Mbadi in the broad-based government.
I think in any government administration, you will always find that there will be projects that the government will always try to bring to the people. The past regime tried to bring some developments to Luo Nyanza, particularly the area of Kisumu, where we had some works being done in the expansion of the Kisumu port. We are aware that there was some work that was being done there, the revival of the shipping industry, where we have some ships being constructed there by the government. That started in the last regime, but the stadia that I made reference to were actually projects that were supposed to be done by the county governments. But as we all aware that county governments may not have the monetary muscle to see through these projects. So therefore, they started the projects but left them halfway. And so therefore, the national government has done well to bring them to completion. For those that have been completed, like the one in Homa Bay, I'm aware there's one that is coming up in Migori, and of course, as I said, there's one in Siaya, which is also nearing completion. Back to your question, the impact that probably is being felt by the two gentlemen or the three people from our community that you mentioned is, number one, just the feeling that you are part and parcel of the day's administration. You know, it's not possible that all communities in Kenya can form part of the government, as it were, because as you are aware, cabinet positions are only allowed to be up to 22 by our constitution. And so therefore, out of the 45 or 50 communities that are in Kenya, it would be difficult to have 22 vis-a-vis serving the 50 tribes. So if you're forming part of the 22, then of course that is something that makes you feel that you're part of the administration. Number two, I'm sure that there are those silent benefits that ordinary people may not see. For example, where these gentlemen are operating from within those ministries, I'm sure there must be some benefits that are trickling down to the communities where they come from. But I have also to say that Opio and I has come out very clearly and said that he's earmarked quite a number of expansion of energy, basically the electricity to our rural dwellings. I think he has talked about quite a number of budgets within the four counties. He said so much about Siaya, he said so much about Kisumu, he said so much about Migori and Homa Bay. So it is only reasonable that we say that if these projects are going to see end of day, I think they will definitely be of benefit to the societies or the communities that live in those areas.
Well said, Sawagongo. Now, I hear you well. You talked about ODM. ODM currently is being observed as a family party where Honorable Oburu was given the mantle by the party organs to be the chairman. And of the recent past, we've seen ODM cracking, for a better word. We've seen it cracking into the middle, whereas Oburu is pulling with his other team towards south, and the daughter of the late Raila Amolo Odinga, Winnie Odinga, is also pulling or pushing towards east. Where are we?
Thank you, Weekly, for that question. I think it was expected that with the passing on of Honorable Raila Odinga, who had been the head of ODM for 20 years, it was expected that things were going to unsettle a little bit. We can see that is happening. So many interests in the party. Some want to run with it to the government. Others feel it is too soon to do so. And so therefore, what is happening in ODM is very normal in my opinion. There will be a lot of justlings here and there because of power. There are those who want to be in charge of the party. There are those who feel that it is their turn to be given that alternative leadership. And so therefore, when you see Oburu Dinga on one side and Winnie on the other side, I think in very democratic terms, I want to say it is normal. However, I think what is necessary at this particular time is to make sure that we did not pull for too long, because if we pull forever, then obviously the fatigue will set in, and when fatigue sets in, then we're going to have people start leaving the party to join other formations, and that may just spell doom for ODM. Oburu Odinga is, of course, is an elder. I think it was probably the wise thing to do to allow him take leadership at that time when Raila passed on. But I think what is emerging currently is that there could be elements within ODM that are not satisfied with his leadership. And so therefore you see the younger generation within ODM trying to assemble around Winnie and probably saying something different. It would be interesting to watch what is going to happen, but I think ultimately we'll arrive at some solution. Whether the solution would be for Odinga ceding ground and saying yes, it is good that I allow the younger generation to take lead, is something that would be very interesting for us to see. If that does not happen, then I expect that we are going to have a lot of activity within ODM going forward.
Wow. Well, do you think Mama Eda is behind Winnie?
I want to say yes, and I also want to say no. Why do I want to say yes? I want to say yes because you can't take Ida out of the ODM equation. Baba was Ida's husband when he formed ODM.
Yes.
We have seen and we have heard in the past of decisions that were made within the party where Ida's name have always come out. A good example is when party nominations are done and some candidates think that so and so was given the party ticket because Ida preferred them over us. That has happened. So, and we cannot say with absolute firmness that happened because Ida thought so. But I think just by being in that family, being part and parcel of that family, and a senior family at that level, it would be a little bit naive of us to think that Ida is not part and parcel of the ODM family. She is, and so therefore there could be possibilities that she's also giving opinion or advice or pulling some strings behind the scene there. Having said that, I also want to give it to her that she's a national mother. We know that Ida cuts across Kenya. She has people who look up to her as a mother from all communities around Kenya, and so therefore to just tie her to the Luo community and say that she is a mother of Winnie and the Luo might not give her justice, as it were.
Sawagongo, as we sit back and watch or spectate Oburu Odinga, Honorable, the old man, and the young girl, Winnie, in the boxing ring, you said that possibly Mama could be also behind the girl. And there are common strong figures in the Luo community or from the Luo community. James Agri Orengo and Peter Nyong'o, the governor. These are two governors who are ODM members. We've not had them come out and say, wait, or what could be happening?
Good question, Wycliffe. I think the two gentlemen that you mentioned, Honorable James Orengo and Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, are of course senior members of the ODM family, and their wise counsel really would have helped at this time. But perhaps they are still taking their time. as an elder, sometimes it's good that you allow uh, your children to, uh, just a little bit so that you know which one is heavier and which one is lighter before you bring in your wise counsel. But having said that, I also want to say that perhaps Professor Nyong'o has been busy with we know that the national government through the president has been attracting quite a bit of his ideas in how to run the nation with his planning ideas, and we know that he's a great mind when it comes to economics and economic planning. So maybe that has taken a bit of his time and he's not paid much attention to what is happening politically. We are also aware that he's doing his last term in Kisumu, and so therefore he's probably thinking that his indulgence in this ODM may not be so much required. For James Orengo, I think that is one man who people understood differently. People understand differently. There are those who take his political opinions to be a little bit extreme sometimes, and so therefore that makes him a very interesting character in all this, because if he were to speak with finality on what is happening in ODM right now, I think that would even bring more confusion, because we have seen in the recent past when he's been trying to tell members of ODM to be a little bit careful, a little bit cautious when they are dealing with the government of the day. And so therefore, only time can tell what the two gentlemen are going to bring to the table when they speak.
Nationally, is Oburu able to hold the grip of ODM the same way his brother used to?
I don't think that is going to be possible for Honorable Oburu. Honestly, Raila Odinga, having formed ODM when he was strong, youthful in age, he was able to go around this country, did so many meetings around Kenya. Age was on his side, and so therefore it was easy for him to do what he did. We know Raila was a man who was able to multitask, and he was also a very good mobilizer of sorts. Oburu, the gentleman, is quite the opposite, in my opinion. He's good with his strategies of peace building, and probably his calculative moves on how to benefit from the government of the day. I'm sure he gives quite some good opinion about that. But to say that he will be another Raila Odinga, that would be a mismatch. I think it will take us a long time before we get somebody who can match Raila's energy levels and organizational skills. But yes, we needed somebody to take his place when he left, and Oburu was chosen to do that. Maybe time is coming when people will debate on that issue and see who is fit to be in that position going forward.
Wow, thank you very much, Ochieng Sawagongo, for coming today. Fellow viewers, those are Ochieng Sawagongo's opinions. What is your opinion? Kindly comment, share, like, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Until we meet again with the next story, God bless you.